A warm welcome to those visiting with us today, and thank you to those who are watching us online also. I request you all to kindly fill out that communication card in your bulletin. That helps us to stay connected with you. And in that communication card, you can also share your prayer requests and request for more information that you would like. And please place those communication cards in the offering bag as they are passed during the end of the service. After the sermon, when we sing again, the offering will be received. And thank you all for your generous giving to the Lord each week. Here are the other events this week. We have on Tuesday, Tim's small group. They'll be meeting at 7 p.m. in Grace Cafe, and they're doing a series on the Psalms, seeing Jesus in the Psalms. Wednesday at 6:30, we have our prayer meeting again in the Grace Cafe room. And then Thursdays at 10 a.m., we have the ladies' Bible study at Doug Lamb's Construction. If you have any questions about any of these, please contact me or Carol in the church office. Now, when you walked inside the building, you must have seen those red and green shoe boxes neatly arranged next to the welcome desk. Those Operation Christmas Child shoe boxes are one way that we can use to bless children in need around the world. So please take a shoe box and fill it with toys, personal care items, school supplies, and other sort of fun gifts that you can find. But please use a label to indicate, on the shoebox whether it is packed for a boy or girl and which age category they fall in, whether it's 2 to 4, 5 to 9, or 10 to 14. The labels, the envelopes, the brochures to help you pack, they're all there, in the lobby. And you can also help with the shipping of these shoe boxes with a $10 donation. Please return your boxes by November 17th. And what we will do is once you return them over here, we are going to collect all of them and we are going to drop those gift-filled shoe boxes to a collection center, and then Samaritan's Purse will distribute them to kids in over 100 countries. And what happens to those kids who receive those shoe boxes is that after they receive those shoe boxes, they also have an opportunity to participate in the Greatest Journey, which is a follow-up discipleship program offered by Samaritan's Purse, where these kids come to know more about Jesus and how to grow in Jesus and also to share about their faith in Jesus. And so that's like a 12-lesson program. Those boys and girls, little boys and girls, they will go back home and they will share about Jesus to their families. And so that's how the good news will continue to spread. So the box that you fill may get some young boy or girl somewhere in the world interested to learn about Jesus. And their entire family can come to believe in Jesus. So please don't miss this outreach opportunity. Now, if you don't think packing a shoebox is enough, then you can pack and go yourself to one of these short-term mission trips offered by our denomination, the BIC World Missions. These are 1 to 2 week trips which offer a unique opportunity to connect with people across cultures. The mission trip to Southeast Asia is from 8th to the 20th of December, and it's basically to share the Christmas story with students in local schools over there. The trip to Bogota, Colombia, is in June 2025, and it's also in a Christian school over there. And the trip to Dearborn, Michigan, is in July to August of 2025, and it's basically hosting English and math camps for refugee children over there. And you can find more information about this at the information booth in the lobby. If you have further questions, please meet me. Election Day is coming up November 5th, and we are looking for 4 to 5 volunteers to make snacks for the voters. Now, these snacks are for all the voters, okay? No matter whom they vote for. We don't only give to, ask if you voted for somebody and give it to them. No, these are for all the voters. If you are willing to help make some of the snacks, please see Darlene Welter. She's sitting at the last row over there. We are also using Bible in a Year, the Bible in a Year Bible reading plan from Ligonier Ministries on YouVersion for our church Bible reading plan. Now, this plan has 2 readings every day, one from an Old Testament reading, one from a New Testament. And, this Bible reading plan is soon going to come to an end. And if any of you have any suggestions for what we as a church can read together and grow together as a church, then please let me know. Okay. Now, as you can see over there, we've been reading, as a church, we've been reading the book of Daniel in the Old Testament. Now, very quickly, God helped Daniel, a Jew, to rise to an important position in the pagan Babylonian government of that day. And God used one person, like Daniel, to teach Nebuchadnezzar, the most powerful king of that time, the superpower of that time. God used one person, like Daniel, to teach that king who God is. And so, Daniel writes this: God changes times and seasons. God removes kings and sets up kings. God is the one. When Nebuchadnezzar, like the president of Babylon of that time, when he got too proud, Daniel interpreted one of his dreams. And he told that king that the king would be removed from his position, that he would live like an animal among the wild animals for 7 years. And after those 7 years, when that king came to his senses, that great pagan king, you know what he wrote? A pagan king wrote this in our Bible. He wrote this: I lifted up my eyes to heaven, and my reason returned to me, and I blessed the Most High, and praised and honored him who lives forever, for his dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom endures forever. That great king of Nebuchadnezzar came to know who the living God was. And you remember this, even when Daniel was thrown in the den of lions under another kingdom, the Medo-Persian kingdom, King Darius, he fasted that throughout the night, and then at the break of dawn, he arose and he came to that, to the den of lions, and then he called out, "O Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve, continually been able to deliver you from the lions?" And then when he saw that God had been able to deliver him, this pagan king, Darius, he wrote this. He wrote, "I make a decree that in all my kingdom, all the people are to tremble and fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God." Okay? Now, why am I telling you all this? Why am I telling you all this? This is not the sermon, okay? The sermon will come afterwards. See, here's the thing. People in this nation, they talk about the separation of church and state. But when the government thinks and believes that it is independent from God, that, it has nothing to do with God, it is not under God, then it is the duty of the church to tell the state that no, you are still under God. Every leader is accountable to God, because God is the one who establishes leaders and kings. God commands us, and it is our responsibility as Christians to pray for those leaders that God sets up. And it is our responsibility also to vote. So if you haven't registered to vote yet, then tomorrow, October 21st, tomorrow is the last date for you to register to vote. And I hope and I pray that all of you will be able to vote as responsible Christians. See, here's the thing. Many of us will send those shoe boxes. Many of us will send those shoe boxes to tell some kid somewhere in the world about God. Many of us will do that. Fewer people will go on the mission trip across the world to tell some non-Christians about who's the true living God. But very few, very few will have the courage to be like Daniel and to tell powerful kings and governments who God is, that God has appointed them to lead and they are accountable to God. But all of us can do one thing. All of us can do one thing. You can and you must vote.
Which of these issues do you care about? What if you could influence how they were legislated? What if you could impact the outcome of the next election? What if you could change the course of America?
I hope and pray that all of you can vote. And again, a reminder to you, for those who haven't registered, tomorrow is the last day for you to register to vote. But for now, let's look to God as we worship Him together in music and song, and as He helps us to be a loving community pursuing grace, truth, and hope in Jesus. Welcome again.